Hello there. This is Chris from Listen Jigsaw. We're doing just a bit of a chat at the moment. An opportunity to chat. So we're just trying a live stream at different times just to see who's around and what the story is at different times. Our regular time is at 12 o'clock Universal Time. For Have a Tea with Me, where you can come on and have an English conversation. So we just want to see what responses we get at different times of the day. Just to see what the situation is there. This is our email address. Excuse me for that sip of water. It's our email address, chatonlessonjigsaw@gmail.com. If you're thinking, hey, I would like to practice speaking English, I would like to have a conversation in English, you can certainly come on. You can send us an email to chatonlessonjigsaw@gmail.com. And that would be a way to arrange a time, because you may have a specific time. At the moment, we're just going to be on for a short time now, maybe like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and just see. I'll post the link inside the chat box and in the comments. And what you can do with that is, if you click on that link, you can come in through to the studio and you can come and have a chat. So that's an option for you, but it's completely up to you. So just putting that out there. So by all means, come and have a chat with us. The only reason we're here is to chat with you. So it's why we're here. It's why we're here. So I keep looking over there when I should be looking over here. It's very funny. I tell you what, I was just out and about, looking for some bits and pieces. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Look at that language there. Out and about, looking for bits and pieces. And it's true. I was. The problem was that I couldn't. It was very difficult. Not that I couldn't, but it was very difficult to find exactly what I was looking for, and that thing was a black pen. I could not find a black pen anywhere. Blue pens everywhere. Everywhere there were blue pens. It was amazing blue. I could find some red and all sorts of, colors of all sorts. They were more sort of texture type of colors, or style of pens. But I could not find black pens. Eventually found it in a supermarket. So that was my experience in the last little while. I tell you what, it's an interesting thing. I was always told that blue pen is the best in general to use, but I don't know. I've been told to use black pen for some things. And it's just, as I say, no wonder maybe people don't use black pens much these days. I don't know. So anyway, I am here at the moment, just talking to myself, which is, which is what you do when there's no one around. But as I said, if you would like to have a chat, you can certainly click on the link in the chat box or in the comments. Click on that link. You can come through and have a chat, practice speaking English, practice a little conversation. As I say, We're here till about, for another 5 or 10 minutes or so at the moment. But certainly, if you'd like to come through, you can come and have a chat. What's the topic, I guess, is the question. Whatever topic you want to talk about. But as I say, we'll be here for another 10 or 15 minutes or so, and then we need to shut up shop for the day, to use the expression, to shut up shop. But yeah, by all means, come on through. Yeah, that's that's about it. I just gotta repeat myself otherwise. But if you're watching, come and say hello. Come and say hi. Always a good thing to start with the friendly stuff. Nice, gentle greetings. But yeah, we were talking a little bit earlier in our program. Have a chat with me. Have a tea with me. Well, I guess, but the point is have a chat with me, isn't it? But certainly, it's the point is to practice speaking. It's really important to practice. Well, speaking and writing is the truth. So I it's when you're learning vocabulary, you're reading a lot, which is great, and listening to things a lot. It's so important, so important to actually use that vocabulary, and it's not even a case of, in very easily, you could read an article or a chapter in a book or a novel, and quite easily have a list of 10, 20, 30 words that you don't know. I guess the first thing you got to do is, without looking at those individual words, ask yourself, can I understand what this story was? Can I understand what the writer was trying to tell me or communicate me, or depending on the style of the writer, of course. And then, but then if you've got loads and loads of words, it's, I guess, worth considering, which are the words that probably I'll need to concentrate on. And I guess you've got two ways of doing that, or a few ways of doing that. You can obviously look them all up and check the meanings in the dictionary, and then consider, oh, okay, well, that definition, I could probably use that in a circumstance. You can also look on with certain dictionaries. I think there's, with a bunch of dictionaries, you can find this as well as online, particularly. Is like, search the words and look for the frequency, how often that word is used in general, and maybe used commonly when people are writing, and maybe used more commonly when people are speaking. But just to see how commonly those words are used, and then prioritize some words based on that. And then you can also base it on how often you seem to use that word, or rather use the word, how often you come across that word, how often you encounter it. So if you hear that word a lot, or see that word a lot, maybe in the book, you see a particular expression, or the writer use that, and you go, okay, so maybe I need to pick that up and start use that, so it's part of the vocabulary that I'm using on a regular basis. And I guess with those different ways, you can consider and make a decision for yourself what words are the most important, and which ones will you prioritize. Because if you're trying to learn 30 words a day or something, maybe it's possible. But if you're effectively using them and incorporating them into what you already know, is the question, I guess. That is the question. So yeah, something to consider, I guess, something to consider and think about. Okay, so we're probably going to stay here for another 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to head off. Like I say, this is lesson Jigsaw. We're here for you to practice using English, learning English, practicing speaking, and in some ways practicing writing as well. That's more on the Facebook side. We'll probably do that. But certainly, it's I do welcome anyone to come and join us. What could we say? I see a lot of I see a lot of places where people are, I guess, trying or seeking to practice English, seeking to speak it, but I'm not sure where people actually are. I see this in a few groups on Facebook in particular. I see these groups, and I don't know. I don't see a lot of speaking, and that's part of the reason we're here. Not because they're not speaking in the Facebook groups, but because generally that opportunity is not there. So yeah, it's an opportunity for you to come to speak. Maybe you're thinking, hey, I'm too scared. I'm too scared to come and speak. And I guess, at some point, it's going to be very difficult to be in a position where you're really, really super comfortable speaking English in front of people, having conversations, if you're not doing that reasonably regularly. Before that, you can learn all of the books, you can learn all of the vocabulary, but if you haven't been speaking regularly, you're not using it. You're not using English, and that's what we need to do. We need to practice speaking, practice writing, and here in particular, where we're looking at practicing speaking and giving people the opportunity to come on live and practice speaking English, because that is one thing I find is missing for a lot of people, unfortunately. But it's like, yes, it can be difficult, and there is. I absolutely agree. It takes a bit of courage and bravery to come on and speak, but it's the only way it's going to improve. Without practicing, it's not going to improve. It's like you develop your speaking as a language learner in about the same way as you develop your sporting skills by watching on TV. You can learn a little bit, absolutely. You can watch other people's technique and stuff, but unless you actually, put that technique into action, not much is going to happen. So we need to practice. We need to speak. That's there's no getting around it. It's the only way. It's the only way. So, like I say, there is a link in the stream, in the chat box and in the comments. Anyone wishing to chat can click on there, or if you want to arrange a specific time to do a live stream and to do a practice session where you're speaking during the live stream, send us an email. You see the email on the screen there, chatonlessonjigsaw@gmail.com. Send us an email and we can try and arrange a time. Obviously, lots of different time zones around the world where people are, so it's a matter of arranging and that sort of thing, and checking on the websites, converting the times and that sort of thing. But yes, so hello. Well, I'm going to say hello, but I'm going to say goodbye in a sec, because no one is talking at the moment. But what we are going to do over the next probably a couple of weeks or so, we're going to try out different times and different places, and just see how things work and how people will come on board, and how many people come on board. As I say, it's free to come and chat. It's just a matter of, well, free in terms of money. It will cost you a bit of time, and it will cost you a bit of effort, because obviously you need to be thinking a bit and engage in the conversation. So there is that. That is the cost for you. But in terms of money, there is no cost. So you're welcome to come on through. But we do have a comment. Hello, by the way. How are you? Are there some specific steps that can bring the learner to a fine level in speaking English? Well, it's a great question, and it's similar to what I've been talking about. It's practicing. It's practicing and speaking. It's and depending on the scenario that you're talking about, it's practicing different situations. I mean, we can chat and have a conversation about, I don't know, your favorite music every day, all day. And that's okay. And you can develop lots of things through that, but that's very limiting. So really what you would need to do is try and have engagements, conversations with in as many different topics as is appropriate. Yeah, so but depending, particularly if it's focused on studies or work or getting a job or practicing different situations, that's a good thing. Maybe you encounter a lot of native speakers. Maybe you have a shop and they come in. So practicing those sort of situations is probably the core that you need to begin with. Or if you're studying and you need to use English as part of your studies, the sort of language and conversations that you may have with other students and teachers and tutors and that sort of thing, and the administration staff and that sort of thing would be the core. And then when you got that core, then you start expanding into other things, because remember, it's not just about engaging in the core topics. It's also about just generally engaging with people. And you would know yourself in any language, when people sit down, when you sit down, have a cup of tea, when you sit down, have a meal with someone, if you're out in the park or something, or you just, I don't know, sitting in a car at a bus stop, what do people talk about? Lots and lots and lots of different things. So it's about getting as many opportunities and as much experience as you can talking about different topics. So there's no way of getting around. And also, when you say fine level, I guess it depends what you mean by fine level. I think the priority is not too much to worry about things like grammar necessarily, and that sort of thing. Enriching vocabulary, I think, is certainly a very good thing, but not worrying too much about grammar. It's making sure that the message that you want to convey, you're able to send that message across, in the conversation that you're having, and that you're able to get perhaps whatever information that you need. So maybe you're asking for things or explaining a situation. That, I think, is where we should think about the fine level. So you're able to engage in a way that's useful and practical. Sometimes you need to give a degree of depth, let's say. So, like, for example, in a simple thing, instead of just saying happy and sad, you might perhaps want to have other ways to express that apart from just a basic level. And that will come over time with practice and that sort of thing. And that's obviously just a simple example. But I think worrying less about grammar and worrying more about actually getting in there and communicating, getting your message across, and then also receiving the message so that you can engage. Yeah, it's a responsibility of both people. It's the responsibility of the speaker and also the responsibility of the listener to be trying and also engaging. The only things, like in terms of grammar, the only things I guess that are really important is if you use a piece of grammar, or it could also be vocabulary, where it has a different meaning, and perhaps even more so, maybe the opposite meaning to what you want to say, and that's more of a problem. I think that's where you need to think about the grammar and the impression perhaps that gives. So that's the only real time we need to think about grammar. But if you say something like, I don't know, I go to the shop yesterday, I think for most people, it's going to be pretty clear that you were talking about the past. Yeah, you were talking about yesterday, even though you use the present. So I think it doesn't matter too much. If it gets confusing, I will go to the shop yesterday, that's going to be confusing, and that sort of thing. So they're the only sort of times you really need to worry about grammar. The rest, the energy that you use should be about trying to get vocabulary in, expressions in when you're reading and that sort of stuff, and then pushing it out. Not all of it, being selective to what you need. So little bit by little bit by little bit. Don't try and go, oh, I want to learn 30, 40 words a day or something. Do like 3 or 4 words or 3 or 4 expressions a day and try and incorporate it. Yeah. But speaking every day, speaking with as many people as you can, in as many situations as you can. And with whoever it's possible to speak with, and to be honest, that's why we're here. It's another opportunity. By no means, not at all, do I want people to think, oh, okay, I can just go on there, and then that's gonna solve everything. That's not the point. It's another opportunity to speak, and to speak with someone different, and hopefully, and that's not just me, hopefully as time goes on, we have other people and people speaking to each other, and that sort of thing. That was a long answer, wasn't it? A long answer to a short question. I'm not sure. It's Haytam, is it? Haytam. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, and excuse me if I didn't. Even some English words, my pronunciation isn't good. So with names, I'm sometimes not the best either. So please forgive me if I've said your name incorrectly. Okay, well, I'm going to go for now. Like I was saying before, we do have our regular. Okay, correctly pronounced. Thank you very much, Haytam. It's good to have people chatting on there. Where are you from, Haytam? I'm curious. I'm gonna. Well, I don't know if it's good to guess or not. I would guess Vietnam, perhaps, with that name, but that could be completely wrong as well. But that's just as a rough guess. Mate, it's a pleasure. Thank you for your question. Morocco. There you go. Well, I was completely way off. Completely different continent. So no idea. But that's how we learn, isn't it? That's how we learn. So just a reminder. So at 12 o'clock each day, we 12 o'clock Universal Time each day. We will have a tea with me, where you can anyone can come on and have a chat. There's always the link in the chat box or in the comments, so you can come in and have a chat. And like I mentioned before, if you want to find another time, maybe that time is not the greatest, and that's why we're trying a few different times as well. If there's another time that you think is would be better, you can send us an email, chatonlessonjigsaw@gmail.com, and we can find another time where we can do a live stream and a conversation speaking session with you at a different time, because obviously, like we were saying, everyone's all over the world in different places, different times. So we can just organize that. So that's great. Okay, hey Tam, that's great. Well, it's good that you're interested in coming on board. I'm glad. Hopefully, you've followed us on Facebook is where you're coming from. So if you're there, I hope you've followed us. You can also come through on YouTube as well and subscribe to us on YouTube. We're going to be alternating between different places at different times, but at the moment we're I guess simulcasting, so we're streaming on both at the moment. But certainly send us an email if you want to chatonlessonjigsaw@gmail.com, and we can find a time to have a chat, and hopefully you can come on through and speak with us. That would be very exciting, I think, to have that. Okay, so I'm going to head off. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow at least for Have a Tea with me at 12 o'clock Universal Time. Everyone is welcome to join in, practice their English, have a conversation, have a chat. We're just here to practice English, practice speaking. We don't want me speaking. Sorry, we don't just want me speaking. That's the point. We want you to be speaking. So I'm only speaking now a lot because, well, I'm the only one on here. But certainly, like I say, anyone else can come through, and then we can have a chat. So for the moment, thank you. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Certainly. Definitely at 12 o'clock Universal Time, and perhaps some other times throughout the day. Have a good